Got her to sign my ass during the LGBTQ chili cook-off in October. We all had to wear assless chaps. It was hilarious. She really knows how to spice up the campaign. What's up, guys? This video is going to reveal results of a crazy Bumble experiment we recently did where I went undercover as both a Trump supporter and a Kamala supporter to find out who gets more matches, and is it liberal or conservative girls that are more attractive. We're going to find out how does your political affiliation affect your dating results, along with some grade A trolling. So for this experiment, we wanted to find a city that was politically neutral, where there's equal amount of conservatives and liberals. And that was Houston. Believe it or not, it was actually pretty hard to find a city like this. Once we picked the city, we created two profiles where everything was the same. The only thing that was different was in one of them, my profile photo I was wearing a Trump shirt, and the other one I was wearing Kamala shirt. Also in the bio, I talked about Trump and Kamala, and then of course the text game reflects it. There's gonna be some really funny interactions here. So let's start off with the Kamala profile. So here it is. So this is me on Bumble in Houston. So here you can see my shirt here. This is the first photo. It says 2024 Kamala Harris. This is not a real shirt. This is all just Photoshop. And here we can just see my bio, 6-0 Miami, Kamala 2024. My passions traveling around the world, seductive whispering rush in your ear, strengths being dilated, blah, blah. This is my usual bio, but the only thing we add is Kamala 2024. And we made it pretty blatant. So it's the first photo and it's like the first thing in the bio. And here we see the rest of the photos. So this is my second photo, right? This is one I've used a lot. My third photo. And the fourth photo is just a cute photo of Rhaegar, right? With Bumble, you can't really do shirtless photos, and we also want to just remove as much kind of background noise as possible, make this experiment as clean as possible. We let this run for 72 hours in the city of Houston, and during that time, we got about 160, 170 likes. So you can see here it says 150 plus, right? So that's a good amount of likes in 72 hours. Out of those, about 24, 25 were like attractive enough, were like sixes and pluses that, you know, I would actually match with, right? So a pretty good amount in 24 hours for these liberal girls, we'll call them that. All right, so let's just take a look at some of the, you know, talent we had to work with. So here I'm just screen recording some of the results. You can see some of the girls, and there's some attractive girls. There's also some not so attractive girls. Again, Houston is not going to have the most attractive girls in general. I think that KG is actually pretty cute. She's a pretty cute black chick we got here. And we just kind of fast forward through this whole thing. Miranda, we got some booty. Ooh, I actually wound up getting a date with her. You're about to see that in the text combo. We got Ross. We got these girls, right? So you can just kind of see the quality of girls match with obviously some fat chicks here, but you're going to see that for the Trump profile as well. Marty's pretty cute, and just kind of screen kind of going through this whole thing, and you're going to get a better idea when I show you guys the text combos. All right, so that was basically 72 hours in Houston. Now let's actually see some of the text combos that we had with the whole Kamala undercover profile. So let's take a look at this here. So here's the first girl, Shauna, and this is going to be, I'm going to show you first a few that didn't go anywhere, and then I'm going to show you a few number closes. So here she says, oh, okay, your dog is just too cute, LOL, referring to the wonderful Rhaegar. I say, thanks. Her name is Kamala, and she says hello. She says, oh, lol, that's so cute. How's your day going? I said, yeah, she was almost named Hillary, but she kept barking at the mailman. She identifies as a dog sometimes too, but I still love her the same. And we never heard back from Shauna. All right, let's move on to the next one. Hannah, pretty fucking cute girl right here. Just cute southern blonde, right? And so she opens me with, hey. I say, hey, Hannah, Happy New Year. Any fun resolutions? She says, Happy New Year. I actually didn't make any this year. I never stick to them. So this year, I just want to make things happen for myself. How about you? I say, sounds like you could use a little motivation. Mine is to find a hardcore Trumper that can convert to a Democrat, and better atoning for my whiteness and privilege aside from that. So yeah, so basically she didn't respond to that. God, I guess she doesn't want to atone for her white privilege. What a shame. Okay, now we're going to get into some actual number closes. So I just wanted to show those because I thought those were funny. So here's the first girl, and all these girls look pretty hot. They all kind of look the same. They all have nice asses, minus the one in the middle, I believe. And so, oh, actually, no, she didn't respond. So she opens me with, haha, how's your night going? I say, it's going great. Just finishing some debate prep, about to put some Trumpers in their place. She says, baha, I love everything about this. I say, yeah, I know it's almost good as our date is going to be. But again, I sent this today. She's probably is going to respond to that. But again, you know, we just wanted to do this experiment video. We didn't want to wait too long. But yeah, so this was today. So she'll probably respond at some point. I'll keep you guys updated. All right, now let's get to some of the number closes. So here are going to be some more in-depth Kamala liberal trolling conversations. So here we have this girl, pretty cute. You know, she's a little bit on the older side, but pretty cute chick. And so she opens to me, she says, "Hey Alex, I noticed from your profile you seem adventurous. You're obviously a liberal and voted for Kamala. I'm very convinced you have the barbecue thing down and you look like you give the best hugs. I'm absolutely intrigued." All right, I like that. I say, "That's right. The best hugs are reserved for my fellow Kamala supporters only. I got my hugs and barbecue skills certified by Kamala herself and worked on the campaign staff for the past 6 months." She says, "Wow, that must have been an absolutely incredible experience and thank you. The world would be a better place if she were about to take office." I say, "I also got her to sign my ass during the LGBTQ chili cook-off in October. We all had to wear assless chaps. It was hilarious. She really knows how to spice up the campaign fun. So tell me, any interesting year's resolutions this year?" I can't believe this girl's just going along with this. She's like, "Oh my God, that is hilarious. So many questions I would love to hear all about." Obviously, I haven't met her personally, but she seems just like such a beautiful human being. Like the people you just don't see in politics. Honestly, she seems like a pretty standard politician to me, but hey, she says, "Yes, so obviously I have aerial goals. Some of them are moves, some of them are creating collaborative group to perform together and really focus on my self-cultural relationships and joy." I says, "Lol, yes, stories for days about my time spent with Kamala and the crew. She's even more amazing in person. I call her my god, LOL. And amazing list. Hope you're not forgetting to wear your mask while performing and mentoring." Oh my God. She says, "Wow, how do you end up working with Kamala? I appreciate you saying so. Since COVID mostly, I teach online. I have non-aerial hand injuries, so I have not been performing the season. And when you're not working or hanging out with Kamala, what are you doing? How do you like to spend your time?" I say, "Well, it's actually a pretty crazy story. It all started when I saw her on the cover of a magazine. I thought myself, damn, she'd make a great president. So I made a vow to help her out in any way I could. I started writing her support letters and sending them to her campaign office. At first, they thought I was just a crazy fan. But after the third letter, they started taking me seriously. I also had a viral TikTok video of me dancing in my assless chaps and flipping off a picture of Trump that was circulating around the time. It got up to 1 million views before it got removed. Eventually, I got a call from her campaign team asking me to help out. Asking me for an interview. I wore my best outfit, not my chaps, and showed up with a dozen of her favorite cookies. I was offered a position that very day. As for you, I'm sure you'll be back in no time. Thinking we do a little aerial practice together when you're headed up to the spot." And she says, "Alex, that is a crazy and amazing story. I love that you did that. Bravo. I didn't know about the TikTok, blah, 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 blah." She's like, "Have you done aerial before?" I don't even know what the fuck that is. I say, "Sounds like a good time. We'll have to celebrate your return to the air with some wine and aerials of our own. I'm an experienced in aerial, but I have a pretty high success rate of getting people hooked on fun activities. Let's discuss the details of a bottle of wine." She says, "That sounds fun. I like that. I prefer tea, kombucha." That's such a liberal drink, but I love the fuck out of kombucha. "I prefer not to drink. Generally keep it pretty healthy." Actually, I'm the same way. I say kombucha it is. "I know just a spot. Drop your number," and bam, the number. So this girl would actually be very, very down to go on a date with me if I lived in Houston. I was like some diehard Kamala fan. Anyway, let's take a look at one more. So we got Elena here. She seems like she's like Polish or Russian or something. I don't know. So she says, "I love your weaknesses," referring to, I think, great ass and cute accents, whatever. I say, "I haven't even told you my biggest weakness, though." She says, "What would that be?" I say, "Peace, love, unity, and feminism." She says, "So, where's the catch?" I say, "The catch is you're going to have to find a way to deal with my hardcore liberal ass." And she says, "Well, try me. How good is your Russian?" I say, "Don't tempt me with a good time." She says, "Makes no sense to tempt you with a bad one, right?" I say, love that attitude. "So will you tell me about your Russian?" "I'm going to have you crying over the effects of global warming in no time. You just wait, Missy. My Russian is decent, but could use some work. Just missing a sexy Russian girl to practice with." She says, "Well, I'm not Russian, but Eastern European. I knew it. Still counts. I appreciate it more if you'd make me smile." Yes, Eastern European is the holy grail. We'll practice our Russian together. Don't worry, I'll make you smile for days. So here's just some, back and forth. I'm talking about my background. She says, "I guess that means you're quite charming." I say, "One of my many skills along debating Trumpers and supporting the fight for equality. You're going to love what I had in mind for our date. Tell me all about what area of town you're in." I'm like, "Drop your number," and bam. So as you can see here, just with pretty easy trolling here, 2 dates from the Kamala profile. And again, I think that if I just let this run a little bit longer and, I trolled a little bit less, I could get at least 4 or 5 dates. But yeah, 160 something likes, and out of that 25 or so matches is pretty impressive in 72 hours. Now, let's flip the script and go undercover as a diehard MAGA Trump supporter. So here's my profile. First photo is exactly the same. The only thing we did differently is we photoshopped it to say Trump 2024. We kept everything else basically the same. So here you can see the bio. Now, one thing that I realized is that in the Kamala profile, we actually made a mistake because we said Miami. This one is correct because it says Houston, but as you're going to see that's not really going to make any kind of difference. Everything else is exactly the same exact bio, minus now it says Trump 2024. And then here you can just see the photos to see that they're exactly the same. Everything's the same. And travel mode in Houston, Texas. We let this run for 72 hours. And we also ran these profiles about a week apart to make sure that there's like not some crazy overlap and then we don't get banned or whatever, right? To kind of minimize the whole what the fuck factor that some girls are going to have. Anyway, so during this time, we got a grand total of 88 likes. So about half of the ones that Kamala got. I would say out of these 88 likes, about 15 or so of the girls were hot enough to match with. And here you can see that basically, you know, some of the girls that wound up liking the profile. So we're just going to skim through. And wow, Alina is super fucking hot, which is also weird because that's my mom's name. But yeah, so we definitely have some really cute girls here. Also some unattractive ones. Anna's obviously cute, but then we got Angelina, who's pretty fat. But yeah, we just kind of skimmed through this whole thing and you can see, you know, what basically Trump fangirls look like, or I guess girls that were willing to overlook what I had in my bio to match with me anyway, potentially too. So yeah, definitely there's some attractive girls here. There's also some unattractive ones. If I had to say who were more attractive, I would probably say by a little bit the girls that were in the Trump profile, the girls here, I would say they were slightly more attractive. But again, it's hard to say because there's also a lot of hardcore, you know, liberal girls that were also pretty attractive on the other profile. Hard to say, but you guys can judge for yourself. All right, now let's get to the fun part. Let's take a look at some of the conversations I had and some of the dates I was able to set up with my new persona. So here's just one girl that I basically wound up talking to, who I thought was pretty attractive. She opens to me, "Hi, Alex." I say, "Hey, cutie, how's it going?" She says, "I'm good. Enjoying my day off. What about you?" I say, "Good. Just got back from my trip to Mar-a-Lago. How about you?" For anyone who's not into politics, Mar-a-Lago is basically the place where Trump lives. He spends a lot of time there. I guess now he's going to be spending a lot of time at the White House. She says, "How was the trip?" "I'm just enjoying my day off." She has that annoying habit of just like spacing everything out in a new message. I say, "It was amazing. I almost caught a glimpse of our beloved Trump on the golf course, but Secret Service was cock blocking." She says, "Oh my God, hey, do you have any picture?" I say, "Yes. I was able to get a picture of Trump's leg. It's my most prized possession. I framed that photo and hung it up on every wall in my house." And she did not respond. But again, this was only like today, right? So I think that if I, you know, had more time for this experiment, that this girl probably would have actually led to a date. At least she seems to be pretty receptive to the whole like getting a photo of Trump's leg thing. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. So this girl is pretty cute, and I actually want to include this one because I think it's a really good example of how to deal with a girl who's a brat. And I think a lot of guys would get really stuck in this conversation. So let's take a look. So she opens me because Bumble, the girl has to open you, says, seductively whispering Russian, "I am Polish. Any other seductive moves you have?" I say, "Yes, I can put on my MAGA hat and seductively whisper about illegal immigrants in your ear." She says, "You are so weird." Now, I think a lot of guys would get stuck here. It's like, oh my God, she's insulting me, right? But she just seems to be like a typical brat, and just when you know how to deal with them, which is basically just get non-reactive, right? And just not give a shit and kind of fuck around, then you can see how actually easy these girls can be. I say, "Ooh, you must be one of those liberals." Probably would not send this text if I wasn't doing the whole Trump thing. But anyway, she says, "No, I'm not. Sorry to disappoint, but that's your best game. You probably don't get laid much." I say, "You're right. I'm a total virgin. Do they not have jokes in Poland?" She says, "Very sassy for a virgin. We do have jokes, otherwise I would probably get offended and wouldn't bother to respond." I say, "That's good. I've actually been to your country a few times. There were a few smiles here and there." She says, "No way, you've seen smiles. Resting bitch face, our most natural facial expression." Pretty true, actually. I say, "I notice. Is that what I'm in for on our date?" She says, "I'm Americanized enough where I engage in pleasantries like small talk and smiling. If I'm in a good mood, that is." I say, "Well, I'm pretty direct, so no small talk necessary. We can just cut straight to the Polish jokes." She says, "Yeah, you have any good ones?" I say, "I'll let you find out on a date." Again, this was just really recent, so she probably just didn't have enough time to respond. But I think this is a really good example of how to deal with a brat. Anyway, let's take a look at a few more. So this girl is also pretty cute. And so she opens me with, "Russian is a sexy language." I say, "Yes, it can be, especially when I'm in my MAGA hat," and no response. All right, now let's take a look at some girls I was able to actually set up a date with. So here's the first one. I think this girl is actually pretty attractive, right? Like definitely, she's got big tits, she's got a cute face, right? And so she winds up matching with me. She opens me with, "Hi there." Her name is Precious, which is just precious. I say, hey cutie, how's it going? She says, it's going, getting an early start to the day. How about you? I say, pretty good. Was just reading about Greenland. Where are you from originally? So that's also another kind of Trump joke. She says, Philippines. I say, perfect. I need to practice my Tagalog. That's a language they speak over there. She says, oh my God, you know the language. Don't worry. I don't know it either. LOL. It's kind of funny. She's like, you know the language? Well, I don't know it. I say, haha, I'll let you find out for yourself over a drink. She's like, that's something I can do. I say, good answer, shoot me your number, and bam. And yeah, I think this girl would be totally down to go on a date with me if I lived in Houston and I was a diehard Trump supporter. Or probably not, actually. I could probably show up on the date just being a total liberal and still pull it off. I don't think she gives a shit. All right, here we have another girl. So also just kind of cute Southern blonde. She says, what are you dominant about, Alex? So I say, about how awesome Trump is, and also in bed. She says, so I take it you're happy how this election turned out, haha. I say, yeah, I'm super excited. I even ordered one of Trump's Chinese watches. Again, another political reference that a lot of people wouldn't know about, but like 6 to 8 months ago, Trump kind of did a new scheme where he was basically selling these watches, but they weren't even manufactured yet. They're going to be made in China. That was a whole thing. So anyway, so she says, Chinese watch, what does that look like? I say, well, they haven't been manufactured yet, but they look badass in photos. Hopefully I'll have it in time for our date. She says, date? I don't remember you asking me out. I say, would you like to go on a date with me, Miss Rachel? She says, well, since you asked so polite, yes, I would love to, Mr. Alex, sir. I say, perfect, shoot me your number, we can make it happen, and she gives me the phone number. And I think this girl is totally down too. So there we go, that's the Trump profile. All right, hope you guys enjoyed all this trolling. And so what's the big takeaway there? Is it better to be a Trump supporter, Kamala supporter? The answer is, it doesn't fucking matter, right? Yes, the Kamala profile got a bit more matches, but there's more than enough likes that I got with both profiles. As long as you have good photos, you have a good profile, you have a good text game, you can get dates no matter what your political affiliation is. And that's the main purpose of this video, is I want to show you guys that you can be absolutely ridiculous, right? You can have pretty crazy fucking beliefs and say pretty crazy shit and still get a date, because the underlying principles of attraction are going to be the same no matter what your political affiliation is and no matter how hard you troll. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you also check out my free Tinder guide. Link's going to be in the description, so you can match with those hot Trump girls or the hot Kamala girls, or both. Why not? It shows you how to get really good photos, how to write the kind of bio that makes you stand out, as you guys saw in this experiment, and of course text games, so you can take all those leads and turn them into dates. Thank you guys, and until next time.